Hey guys, welcome back to the 507 Girls podcast.
Hey!
Today we have our first guest of the podcast. This is our first ever guest episode. We're very excited about this. This is our boss, the owner of the 507, Isaiah
The owner?
Pitchford. Yeah, are you not the owner?
Oh, the owner. I think you said the order.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
Like Star Wars.
Oh.
Never mind. Just
No.
never mind.
I don't watch Star Wars.
I don't watch Star
That's why I
Wars
said
either.
never mind.
What?
That's why I said never mind.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't watch
I
it either.
assumed.
But the
Which-
owner of the 507,
Yes, ma'am.
Isaiah Pitchford.
Happy to be here.
do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm the co-owner of the 507. We've been open for 4.5 years now. I just recently moved out of Mankato. Lived here for 6 very long years. Played football and ran track here. And I've spent a long time in Mankato, and I've seen a lot in Mankato. But there's not really too much going on outside of that.
Where do you live now?
Now I live in Austin, Texas. This fly is bothering me. Now I live in Austin, Texas. I just moved in October.
And you
Yes.
still run the 507 all the way from Texas.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool, stressful, a lot, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we're making it work. I think that since I've moved, things have been a bit of a roller coaster. There's been times that have been easier than others. I think the staff would probably agree with that. But we're making it work. It's a learning curve, and I've been back. Now this is my 4th time back in Mankato since moving, but hopefully slowly that will slow down a little bit, and we'll be able to kind of, figure this whole thing out and run a little bit smoother.
Pretty dedicated
Something like that.
to the 507.
Something like that.
Well, what are your plans in Texas? Why'd you move to Texas? What do you want to do down there?
So I have a few plans. The original plan was always to move somewhere warm that I could open up another bar. So I guess that's kind of like the main reason why I moved to Texas, specifically Austin. I knew I wanted to find a spot that the concept that I have in my mind would work. And obviously every city's different, but I felt Austin was the best space to do that. And then on top of that, my brother, his girlfriend, Izzy, Lydia, and their son, my nephew, Xander, live in Houston. So being 2 hours away, that was kind of like nice to have some family right there.
Right.
The second piece is I own another company called Body Art Nutrition. We sell pre-workout protein, stuff like that. And the fitness space in Texas is honestly at the top of the country right now, and it's just continually growing. So it allows me to continue to build on that and stuff like that. That's the 2 main reasons. A couple other side reasons, but we don't have to get into all that.
Right. I mean, I'm jealous. I want to go somewhere warm too eventually. So
Austin is the place to be. I'm telling you. Any of you guys want to come down to Austin? We can show you a good time down there.
Have you seen the 20-somethings in Austin, that show?
No, I don't watch TV, to be
Okay.
honest.
Well, it's on
Is it like-
Netflix.
Oh, no, then I will have to watch it. These flies are bothering me.
yeah, they're bad.
They
we
were
don't-
better before we started.
Yeah, we don't normally have flies here. They just came just for today.
They wanted to
They
be
knew
on
you were
the
here.
podcast.
We're just so fly over here at the 507,
Oh my god.
You feel
my
me?
God.
Dude, they wanted to be guest stars. Oh, I just killed 2 of them. You're welcome.
It freaks me out when she kills them.
Yeah, Maddie gets really squeamish when I'm
I don't like them.
Would you
slapping the
rather
flies.
her just leave them alive?
No,
Are you a nature freak?
No.
Not freak, but you know what I mean.
I would rather they're just not here. Like,
Okay, but they
when
are here. So would you rather her not kill them?
What do you want us
Like-
to do about it at that point?
I told her this, but like when I go to the petting zoo, you can't avoid them, but it makes me get full body chills at like a petting zoo.
I don't remember
I'm
you
not
saying
necessarily
that.
disagreeing with what you're saying, but again, would you rather have her just leave them alive?
No, but I like that she's killing them, but I don't like when they're next to me.
Yeah, I mean they land on her a lot after I smack them. So.
Uh-huh.
Got
The
it.
There's one
dead
behind you if you
flies.
want to get her now.
Got it.
No thanks. Mm-mm. Okay.
Okay, anyways,
Moving on.
So, we talked a lot about why we wanted to start this podcast in episode 1, but this was kind of all his idea. He is the birth giver of the 507 girls, so we kind of wanted to ask you.
Birth giver is crazy. Wait, time out. Can we like rewind this real quick? We got to take these shots. I saw that you
Oh
guys
my
you did this at the
God.
beginning.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
before we get into that, we have a shot to take.
I forgot it was hiding behind your computer.
You guys could see it the whole time, and I forgot it was there. So
Do you want to
Maddie likes to
tell
introduce
everyone?
these, but yeah, do you want to do this?
You
today?
chose
Do you
it.
want to do the honors?
Oh yeah, you do want to do it. Sure. I will.
Okay, Isaiah, what are we drinking today?
We got Dulce Vita here. It is infused tequila. We carry 3 flavors here at the 507: lime, grapefruit, and spicy pineapple. It is actually, okay, don't quote me on this, but I'm 99% sure that it's the same owners or the old owner of Deep Eddy.
Oh,
If you
Oh,
look at
that
the
shit's
bottle
good.
and like the colors and stuff, it kind of gives you the same vibe.
Yeah.
But it's super fire. You don't even know it's tequila.
Okay, well, I'm
Well,
scared right now.
You will know it's tequila, but
That's a fat
it
ass
goes down
shot.
smooth.
thanks.
I enjoy it a
scared.
lot.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Lime flavored. It's super easy.
Cheers to the 507 girls and Isaiah being back in Mankato.
You definitely know it's tequila.
Oh my God.
Come on, be serious.
It's not bad. It's just so early.
They know I'm not a good shot taker. I've done this on many episodes now.
But for real, it is good.
That was hard
I
for
like
me.
it. I just don't really love taking it as a
Oh.
shot. Now that we have done the shot, what are you drinking today, Gretchen?
Oh. I got my raspberry mojito.
Are you guys ever gonna drink anything different, or is it always
We-
gonna be the raspberry?
we have
mojitos?
drank
We
different.
drank carblesses last week.
Good. I
And
saw
sometimes I get a strawberry marg.
that. I don't think I've seen that.
Really?
What episode was that?
2.
I don't think we talked about it. I think you like switched up mid-episode.
Yeah, I don't remember a strawberry.
But she does get a strawberry mark.
Oh wait, I
every
think that
now and
actually might have been episode 4 too. And that one
Yeah.
isn't up yet.
That's fair.
Okay, but anyway, as we were going to get into some questions to ask Isaiah here, let's hear why you wanted to start this podcast.
That's fair. So my biggest reason for the podcast, honestly, I've had this idea for a really long time. My like first time ever thinking about the podcast was back when this is like before COVID. This is kind of when I was bartending a lot more. And I would close with 2 pretty like popular college kids. And I had just recently graduated college, and we had a lot of stories of like what would take place in the 507, and then just different perspectives of bar life and things like that. And so closing every single night, we would just talk, we'd have conversations about like what would take place and things like that. And we thought about starting a podcast, ended up not doing it. And then as time went on, I thought about launching it and letting someone from the staff do it. I knew that the idea of like setting it up and letting someone come in and record and do that whole thing might not be everyone's cup of tea. So I ended up like not pitching it to anyone. And then obviously we brought you on the staff, and you kind of take care of all the social media and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, this is kind of like up that alley. So I wanted to pitch it to you and then see if you'd be willing to run with it. Basically, I think it's just a perfect opportunity to shine a light on our industry, our city, the bar life, not just late night. Obviously, that's kind of like the more funny and like exciting stuff, but there's a lot that takes place in food and beverage in general, but especially with bars, and just allow people to kind of see the other side of it, not necessarily just the service industry side, but also like how fun it can be, the crazy stuff that you guys see both as customers and as employees. Yeah, and just obviously like a brand building thing. I truly think that the 507 is bigger than just a bar on Front Street where people come and either, maybe they come and get food, maybe they come and get fucked up on the weekends, but regardless of why you come in the door, I think that it's a bigger brand than just that. And I think this is an opportunity to just kind of continue to build on that and reach more people.
Yeah, I agree. I like
Yeah.
that.
I also agree. It's a very it's a very good answer.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
He came professional and ready for this, but no, that's
Yeah, something
cool.
like that.
I didn't know you were thinking about it for that long.
Yeah. And it makes sense because Gretchen's the first like social media person,
Yeah,
right?
100. You are the first. Not that you have to like feel privileged or anything, but
I'm gonna
you are
feel
the
special.
first person I've ever handed over any passwords to, any like reign to social media. Obviously, so before you, obviously, you know, my brother did a lot of stuff like
Right.
with videography and like helped the social media shift change, I would say, that we had, because I kind of learned this all as I went.
Right.
And he's very much in the content creation space now. And so when he started to really get good at it, we kind of worked together and tag teamed like a lot of the stuff that we would do. But other than me working with him and allowing him to kind of have some creative control, you're the first person to really like have hands-on approach to social media. So
Yeah.
pioneering.
Drunk engineering.
Yeah. Shout out to them
we've,
again.
we've said that like in every episode. We've been like, oh my god, we're drunk
Keep
engineering.
it going. Keep it going. I fuck with them over there. They're cool people.
Every week.
Every week. Shout out to drunk engineering.
What's my favorite type of engineer?
A drunk one.
A drunk one.
Drunk engineer.
I fuck with the drunk engineers for real. They're cool people.
That's lit
Yeah.
though. That makes me feel special. It does. I
It's a big deal. It was a big deal. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie. It was like a month-long conversation with my brothers. Like,
Yeah.
should I do this? Should I not? And then when we put the application up, we had a handful, probably like 8 or 9 people apply. You were one of 3 people that sent a video, and that was like in the description. So I was like, no matter how qualified the other people are, they didn't follow directions, so they don't get hired.
Yeah, true.
And so then I watched the 3 videos, and I was like, okay, I think this is the one. I sent it to my brothers and stuff, and Lydia as well. And they looked at it and okay, well, you obviously have to interview her. And then right away I was like, okay, well, we're good.
Dude, I was so nervous for that interview. That's
I
I was
could
like, I was living at home. You could tell. Oh, that's embarrassing.
I've had a lot of interviews though. It's okay. I had a lot of interviews.
No, I just like this looks so good for my resume and like moving forward. So like I really wanted to get this. Like I was nervous as shit. I was living at home because I was in between my leases, so I drove all the way down here like early in the morning and then came here and I was like hyping myself up in the car. I was like thinking of questions and like answers. I was like, yeah, I gotta get this. I gotta get this job.
I thought it was dope that you already had a YouTube account too. Like
Yeah.
that was part of it. I was like, okay,
Right,
she
yeah.
clearly knows what she's doing here.
hmm
She's a YouTube kid.
Yeah, I was a YouTube kid.
I never made YouTube videos growing up.
Oh, I loved it. I made so many music videos.
I made like
You made
Video
music
Star.
videos?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Like I would take a song and I would go make my own music video to it. And that's why my
Like you would like dance to it and like
yeah,
lip sync and stuff?
yeah.
Nice.
But like
Nice.
also like if the lyrics like said something, I would go and like do that lyric. Like I know I did like a TikTok Kesha music video. She's like,
Oh,
brush my teeth with a bottle of Jet, and I like did some stupid shit where I was like brushing my teeth.
Can you like clip one of your YouTube videos?
Oh my god,
up
I
here?
should. I should literally put that part in here. That's actually why my childhood YouTube account got taken down because I used to write like Kesha TikTok official music video to get views, and they would never get views, but they all got taken down.
it's just you.
This is when you were a kid?
Yes.
Damn. You were before your time.
No, I've been
That's
editing
crazy.
videos since like childhood. Like
That's dope.
yeah, like it's been a long time.
Oh my god. A full music video.
Yeah. I would do like Lady Gaga.
The disappointment.
Songs. No, literally. But bro, also like I was a child and I didn't know the meaning behind a lot of songs. Like, do you know the song Love Game
Oh.
by Lady Gaga? It's like I
Yeah,
want to take a
yeah.
ride on your disco
Mhm.
stick. Like I literally didn't know what that meant, and I made a whole music video to it. My dad was probably like, "What the fuck?"
I was gonna say, I'm assuming your parents didn't see your YouTube channel.
No, my dad saw everything. He loved our videos. They were so funny. He thought they were the funniest thing ever. He got such a
You
kick
use
out of
like
that.
the clickbait on like the clickbait on the picture too.
Yeah.
Official video and you have a
I would
picture of
like
Lady
put
Gaga.
yeah, yep. I did
My
do that.
god.
One of the channels is still up, but I refuse to tell anybody the name of it.
But
There's some
you'll put
embarrassing stuff on
You'll
there.
put a good clip.
Yeah, I'll put a little clip in here. It'll have already been here, honestly.
Perfect.
A little sidetracked, but
Okay. Moving on. I think that I get this question a lot because a lot of people don't know, but how did like you come to own the 507?
I get that question a lot too. So it's a little bit of interesting or different story or journey, whatever you want to call it. So I actually used to work at Berry Blends, which is a smoothie
Oh
shop
my God.
in U
I
Square.
didn't know that.
So I get okay. Back up a little bit. So I went to St. Cloud State for my first 2 years. Played football and ran track there, and then my sophomore year they cut our track program, and so I had to decide did I want to stay there and just play football or transfer somewhere else. So I came to Mankato to continue doing both, and I knew that I wanted to have a job just to have some extra money, obviously, like
Yeah. Like anyone
the kick,
else.
yeah, like everyone else. But the kicker was I didn't have a car when I moved here.
Oh.
So for those that know college football or have played college football, the schedule is very rigorous and you don't really have time to do anything on top of college classes and all that kind of stuff. So I knew I wanted something close to campus. So I took a job at Berry Blends for $7 an hour, which is less than minimum
Oh
wage.
my God.
Yeah, but it allowed me to walk to work. It allowed me to be flexible in my schedule and work like 2 hours in between classes and things like that. About 4 or 5 months in, Steve Wegman, the owner of Weggies,
Oh my God.
bought
Is
it
that why
out.
it's Weggies?
Yeah,
Steve Wegman.
yeah, there you
I
go.
never knew that.
That's
I've told you this.
Really? No, that's
Yeah.
another Mankato fun fact. There's no way
No.
they all knew that.
that's funny as hell.
There's a really good chance they all knew that.
No way.
I'm split. There's a good chance that college kids probably don't, but Mankato is a community that does. Regardless though, so he bought that out about 3 or 4 months to me working in there. It was a very young job. Like I started and I was immediately the oldest. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 people my age. There's a bunch of like high school girls that worked there. And so that means there's a lot of turnover. It would fizzle out. So like 6 months, 7 months in, I was like the longest standing employee there. So he took over. It was okay. Like I guess you're the manager now. And so I was managing that place, whatever. A couple months after that, he's like, I feel like you're wasting your time here. Like, I don't think you need to be making smoothies. So he had me serve at Weggies, which at first I was hesitant about. I was like, I didn't want to serve, gave me anxiety, wasn't my personality, wasn't trying to do it. Ended up doing it. A couple months into that, became a manager. They had some pretty high turnover at the time. And was managing Weggies for a while, along with other managers as well. And then he came to me and was like, hey, I want to open up a bar downtown. I want you to go down there and run it. At the time, I didn't drink alcohol. So I didn't drink until after college. Didn't drink alcohol, didn't know how to bartend, didn't know shit about shit. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So that was like early summer, I want to say. Maybe late spring. So we came down here, we opened up. And so this was called the Savoy before the 507, and it was vacant for about, I want to say a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So we came in, we kind of looked at everything and just started doing all the demo. Like, so where we're sitting right now used to be a stage. And then along that whole wall was technically their booth, and they would have like tables like mounted into the ground along that wall over there. They had a big L-shaped wooden bar top where our bar is. And so me, my brother, and a couple other guys came in here and like did all the demo, like sledgehammers, like knocking all the shit out, pulling the stage out. It's kind of fun actually. And then we got up and running in I guess October 8th, 2018. It is your birthday, and
Your
Joey's,
birthday
right?
is the 507 anniversary.
Yeah,
That's
they'll never
wild.
forget it.
So what did you do last year? Did you come to the party thing here?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I remember specifically watching Maddie tell somebody that everything that we were doing for the anniversary
Oh
was
my
for
God.
her.
This is for my birthday.
I can't believe you guys did
What
all
about
that
like
for
the
me.
4 balloons? Weren't there like balloons that were number 4 everywhere? What did you say about that?
I didn't have all the answers.
She's probably too drunk.
Too drunk. Too drunk.
I was wrapped up in balloons for a little bit.
Oh,
I do
my
remember
God. That's funny.
But yeah, that was kind of the journey of it, honestly. Like he basically came to me and was like, hey, I want you to go down there. And so I came down here, and for the most part, we had separate staff from Weggies. There was a couple people that crossed over. Obviously, as time went on, We kind of split where they had their staff, we had our staff. And we just kind of figured it out as we went, to be honest.
That's kind of dope as fuck, though. Like, he literally just came to you and was like, I'm opening this place. I want you to run it. Like, did you even, like...
Essentially, yeah. So like I said, I didn't know shit about shit. Like, I didn't even know how to bartend, and I would watch YouTube videos on bartending before my shift. Like, and then there was times, like, a little bit embarrassing, whatever, but there was times where people would come in and order a drink, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, and I'd be like, yeah, I got you, and I would go in the kitchen and I would Google the recipe or watch a YouTube video, and I'd come back and I'd make it and be like, there you go. It didn't know what to charge for it. Like, there was a day, it was like we had both been open for maybe like 2 or 3 months, and then there was a day where it's like, okay, I need to know what to charge for different things, and I just took, it was like a Monday or Tuesday, and I went to every single bar like around this area. I went to all of Front Street. I went to a couple of spots on top of the hill too, and just try to figure out like what are places charging for certain types of alcohol, and then that way I know like how we want to price our stuff.
Damn, that's wild.
I had no clue. Yeah.
That's actually so crazy.
It was a long day, by the way. Like, a long day.
Did you order the drinks, or you just?
I ordered 1 or 2 at each spot.
Just got absolutely sloshed trying to figure shit out.
Yeah, but I had a ride home. Don't worry. Don't drink and drive.
That's
Don't drink and drive.
That's like actually crazy though. Like, did you invest a lot of money here? Or was he the one that was like doing it? Like, did you
all sweat equity?
All what?
Sweat equity.
What does that mean?
That means just putting in the hours.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that's cool though. Like, honestly, a lot of people probably want to open up a restaurant and shit. That's actually like a really good opportunity. Like,
it's crazy.
Like, you got lucky.
It's crazy because I had like zero. When I say zero, I mean zero interest in any of this space. Like, when I was in college, I graduated with a marketing degree. I assumed that I wanted to do like marketing, advertising, something for some big company somewhere. My first passion was sports, obviously, so that was kind of like the easy route to go. Not easy, but like the route of interest. And when this started kind of like picking up and we were starting to get busy, and I really found a passion for it. I had fun doing it. I was like, honestly, grad school and like all this kind of other shit is kind of a burden. Like, I don't really enjoy doing it. So I actually dropped out of grad school to go all in here. I finished my first year. I didn't want to just like completely say fuck it and just like leave my classes. So I finished my first year, but I didn't go back for my second, and then I just went all in on this.
Damn.
So could you still go back and finish the second year?
You sound like my mom. A lot of people ask me that, and that was when I told my parents that I was like coming this route. I wasn't doing grad school anymore. That was one of the things my mom brought up. She was like, "Well, that's okay because you can always go back." I was like, "I'm not going back." But yes, technically speaking, I could enroll and go back because I'm in good standing. But I'm not going back.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't if I were you.
So I got a couple questions for you ladies here.
Ooh,
let's start with Gretchen, especially since you said you're scared. What has it been like running the social media for the 507? And how do you see that like playing out in your future? Like, I know in our interview you said that you wanted to do social media content and stuff like that. So one, I guess, what has it been like? Obviously, this has been your first position in that role, and then obviously, I guess they might not know this, but you're moving soon. So, how are you gonna take this and move forward?
I think this is gonna be great on my resume and for my future in general, because this is actually like the first professional social media experience I've had. Like, obviously, I've ran my own pages. I've got a decent following on TikTok. I've done YouTube like since I was a kid. Like, I've had the idea of how to do it, but to like actually do it for a business was kind of like a whoa, like in my face. Like, I had to learn how to do this, you know? And with like having like, you've made it like a lot easier for me with like having a posting schedule and stuff, but like I've also taken a lot of notes from that with like, because obviously if I go up to like a company that's hiring for like a social media position, I'll probably have to do that too. So I've paid like a lot of attention to like the stuff you've given me, and like just thought about like how I can take that somewhere else, like just paying attention to basically like the analytics of like the Instagram page, the TikTok page, like when the best time to post is, and like experimenting with like, oh, if I post this during the day when it says our engagement's better at night, like how does that affect it? I've just been like it's been like a really good learning experience, I would say, because I've gotten to mess around with it and see like if I post something earlier and it doesn't do as well, like I have to just pay attention to all that stuff. But it's been really fun running it. Like this is like probably, I don't know if I'll find a job that's as fun as social media as it is here, you know, like I get to work with Maddie and all the people that work here. Like it's so fun and I've made so many friends here and stuff. But obviously if I go to like more professional company, I'll probably be like alone in an office, like taking pictures and posting pictures or something, you know, like this has been so fun. And I get to like do stuff like this, the podcast, you know, come in and drink and do social media stuff. Like it's fun.
It's very like hands-on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like I get to come in and just film stuff. Like maybe I go somewhere that already has somebody that's like a photographer or a videographer that I just have to like work with their stuff. But like I come in here and I basically do like all of it. So that's been really fun because I've gotten to try like everything. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like the marketing, the managing, because there are so many jobs within social media. There's like social media marketing, social media managing, social media, like just whatever. Like there's so many different positions and titles for social media. And I feel like I've gotten to do all of it here, which is cool because it's going to give me like a better idea of what I actually want to apply for when I start looking for jobs here. Because I would love to do like the managing part. Like I would love to like make the schedule and like do myself like, okay, I think this is going to do best because I have so much experience with that now.
Almost like a creative director.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things like to hear from current employees, past employees is like when they say it's like the most fun job they've ever had. Like obviously,
right.
I mean, you probably know more than you. Like I can be a dick and I can be like super anal and like all that kind of stuff, but I do try. Wow, you don't have to agree so aggressive.
But it's like, yeah,
just turn it down.
Yeah.
You can agree, but turn it down a little bit. But like on top of that, though, I do like to try to make this place a fun work environment and stuff like that. So that's dope to hear.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's
It
definitely
is
fun
so
because
fun.
it's like, where else am I going to go get a job that is like social media marketing that I can go outside and take pictures of people doing live music and then post that online? You know, like I'm also get like the drag brunch shows. Those are my favorite thing to do when I'm here. Like I'm literally basically getting paid to sit here and film them do the drag show. Like I'm watching it at the same time, you know, and it's so fun. Like I'm getting content of like fun stuff. So it's like if I did social media managing for like a concert place, like I say I go up to the Armory and do their social media, that would be lit. That's
That
like something
would-
that I would like to do, like
Yeah,
being here and
100%.
seeing like stuff, what I do here. I'd love to find something like that because that's just
And-
it's so fun.
I could benefit from that if you work at the Armory.
Right. I know, right? No, that's actually my goal though. Like I want to like, I know when I was looking at jobs, like the Timberwolves was looking for somebody doing social media stuff, like sports, like anything
Yeah.
that would be so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. It set my expectations high for finding another social media job.
Hey, I'll
that's what
take that.
say.
I'll
Yeah.
take that. I would definitely
Because
take
it's
that.
fun. Like I want to do something that's fun to get content of.
I feel you. That's
Instead
good
of
to hear.
like just sitting in like an office or something and advertising a brand. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if any companies are looking to want to hire me, I'm not trashing any idea. But I need a job when I
Keep
move.
your options open. I like it. I like it.
Right. Yeah, that sums it up.
All right, Maddie. I got a question for you now. What do you like most about working at the 507?
What do I like most? I like all of it. And I like,
Even when I'm anal and being a dick?
yeah, because usually I agree. Usually it's shit where I'm like,
Clip that. Clip that.
usually it's stuff where I'm like, oh, I've thought about this. That's a good idea. Or it's stuff that's supposed to be happening. And I'm like, why isn't it happening? And then I'd say my favorite, do you say favorite thing? Favorite thing about working here is
Well, you
that,
price drinks. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no.
favorite, like, technically the question was, what do you like most? But yes,
Okay.
favorite.
I think I like that when I come here, it's like I get to socialize and kind of hang out with people while also providing a service and getting paid for it and just chit chatting all night long. I don't know, because that like my other job, I don't talk to a ton of people all day. It's the same people, but in here you can get anyone and learn new things every day, and it's fast paced.
What kind of things do you learn?
I learned about dumpster diving the other day. I didn't know it was so big in Mankato.
Somebody actually was doing that outside of my house the other day. I saw it with my own eyes.
What else have I learned? I've learned how to make drinks. That's kind of fun. I can
Oh,
use
yeah.
that outside of here.
Yeah, you're gonna be a bartender for the rest of your life. You'll be like 50 at a family event. And they'll be like, Maddie, remember your bartending experience from college?
Remember it? Maybe. I don't know. I like the environment in Mankato, and I like the people that come in here and how we get a lot of the same people. But we do have like more people, but how like the same people come in and then I build like relationships off that.
Right.
I don't know.
Nope.
It's just fun. And like you've said this, but like I am rarely in a bad mood when I come here, and I don't know what it is, but I'm just always I'm here and I'm ready to go.
Always down
Down
to
to clown.
clown.
Always down to clown.
You said that in
Always.
whatever episode.
I love it. I love it. All right. So now I have a question for, it's not really a question, but it's for both of you. Describe your personal experience, not just with the 507, but in Mankato as a whole, in 3 words.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit,
3
3 words.
Well, I'm gonna start it off and say fun.
Boring.
Boring?
I'd say
Is that her answer is boring or Mankato's boring?
her answer is boring.
Oh, my answer's boring. Okay, no, my time here has been very fun. I actually think these have been my like favorite years of my life since I moved here, because
The
it's my first
funnest
time actually
years.
being like my first time actually being on my own and like learning how to fend for myself. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say educational.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we
You're
did
You're
go to
describing
college.
Mankato
I
as
saw-
educational.
I saw your face go.
Because your
Um,
time in Mankato, are you saying that just because of college? Because you went to school here?
No, that's fair. It's a boring answer, but it is fair. You probably learned a lot. So I
I
can't say,
learned a lot in school,
like
and I
as
learned a lot.
adulthood and everything.
Yeah.
No, yeah, true though, because I've made my mistakes and I've learned from them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
We all
It is
have.
educational.
yeah, we definitely all have.
Yeah, no, in fact. Definitely
Um,
talked about it enough on here.
mhm.
My second one, this is gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna say loving, because I have met so many people here that I don't even remember what my life was like before I met half these people here.
Yeah,
Like I have made such good friends. Like I've been in a couple of relationships. Like I've been treated well since I've been here.
yeah. Even
Met
like
a lot of cool
here,
people.
even like here at 507,
Yeah,
I'd say loving too.
yeah, right. Like I feel more like loved and cared for down here than I probably ever have, aside from like my family. But I mean, like my hometown friends, my high
Yeah.
school friends.
Yeah.
I can't even compare them to the people I've met here. Like I love the friends I've made down here.
Yeah. My second one, I would say confusing. I'd say confusing coming into it, confusing getting through it, and now currently still confused on what I want to
What's
do.
next? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like after graduating and trying to get into grad school and then like not getting in, and now I'm just
Easy.
confused.
That's one of my next questions. Just easy on the
Okay.
Oh, don't spoil the next question.
Okay. Confusing.
I'm gonna say my third one is rewarding, because I graduated in 3 years, not 4, and I had no debt. I'm debt free. It was like very rewarding and
cheers
accomplishing.
to that.
Oh, literally though, yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers. But it was like, I don't know, I felt very
How?
so basically, I did PSEO my senior year of high school. So my senior year was my first year of college.
Same.
So then I only had 3 years of college, but then I stayed at that community college. I transferred here. Community college was dirt cheap. I got like a really good transfer grant to here because I had good grades at the community college. And then I don't know, FAFSA helped me a lot. My dad files as a single parent.
Shout out to FAFSA.
Yeah, like FAFSA is honestly the only reason. If it would have been, my tuition was
I get
cheap.
nothing.
You look mad salty.
My first semester here was
little
$70. I paid $70 in tuition my first semester here. Like
Maddie looks mad salty.
Maddie's mad. Sorry, Maddie, but no, I don't know. It was
That's
rewarding.
crazy.
I also was really proud of myself for not like taking longer. I don't know. I got all semesters. I just grinded that shit out. I mean, like I know school's hard. It's hard, but like my major wasn't super hard. Obviously, I didn't graduate in like chemistry or some crazy shit. I did communications and mass media, but like that was what I wanted to do and I liked it. It was rewarding. It was fun. And I've loved that I've been able to like fend for myself and like pay my own rent. It's rewarding. It's accomplishing.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. You should definitely hang your hat on that. That's dope.
Yeah.
But also communications major could still be hard.
Right. Yeah. It is, but for me, I didn't struggle too much. You know, it was
Yeah.
just it was accomplishing. It was rewarding to me. I felt like
I
I did
did-
good.
I had to retake one of my communications classes.
Really? I graduated
Was it
magna
from
cum
lack of
laude.
effort?
Yeah.
That's what I
100%.
figured.
Well, there you
You
go.
seem pretty smart. I think you just didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
I just
am
grinded my
smart.
shit out.
I just didn't care about it because I was like, this isn't my thing.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get it done and over with, so I just
But
grinded that
then-
shit out.
Then I had to retake it. And I'm like, okay, this is suddenly my
Right.
thing.
Yep.
My last word,
Exciting.
my la- you know, I would say my last word could be exciting.
Yeah.
Or hungover.
Hungover.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
Drunk.
like I don't know if I want to go there because Mankato as a whole, like, it's not just.
Oh yeah,
I was
Mankato has a
drunk.
lot else to offer than alcohol. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you know, jobs
Right.
here, but exciting altogether. That can include drunk. That can include
Yeah, that's
drinking.
fun and exciting.
It is. There's a lot of stuff that I have enjoyed doing over the years, and a lot that I liked being a part of, and
Yeah.
just exciting things all the time.
Right. It is fun.
For some reason, in my mind, I'm thinking of when Elijah ran the half marathon, and that's in my mind right now. Like,
Why?
Watched him finish it. Pretty exciting.
That's one of your highlights of being in Mankato.
Shout out to Elijah.
Don't know why that
That boy really
is
did that.
memorable, I guess. You could
Look,
call
he's
it.
right there. Let's give him a slow clap.
Yeah, Elijah. Woo! Okay, since you've asked us a couple questions now, I want to go back and ask you another one. We want to know like what it was like starting here from the jump. I mean, you talked about it already a little bit, like your whole demolition process and everything, but like how did you like find your first employees, and like how did you like get your ideas for like food items, like the menu, drinks and stuff? Like what was all that like?
Okay. That process was stressful to say the least.
Yeah.
It was a lot of figuring it out as we went. Especially when it came to like employees, scheduling, that kind of a thing. So we had some employees, like I said, that came from Weggies. Other than that, we had like a lot of new hires and just trying to figure out who fit what we were looking to do, and who was going to kind of get us to from point A to point B. Obviously, when you're first opened, Mankato's not a really big city, so there's a lot of buzz around it. And we didn't have to do like too much crazy marketing to get people in here. They want to come try it out, especially when you hear like, oh, this new location, downtown Mankato, like it's a new bar, everybody wants to check it out. We had a big crossover between the older community, the family community, and bless you, and the college kids, and then just trying to figure out where we fit into this. Fun fact, this bar was not supposed to be a college bar, like at all.
Really?
I've heard that. I've heard
So
that. You wanted
the
it.
drink menu that you know now, we
Yeah.
didn't have. We had a martini list,
Yeah.
and we would serve martinis, and if people asked for a drink menu, that was the only menu we had.
Even though it's like on Front Street, like were all these other bars here
Correct.
when you started here? And
Correct.
was this still like the place to be?
No.
Oh,
What do you mean by
really?
the place to be?
Like this street, you know, like this is where all the
Yeah,
college kids
yeah,
flock
yeah.
to on Friday, Saturday night.
Yep.
It still was.
This was still the place to. I'm not that old. This was still
Well, no,
like.
I'm just like confused, like because this
Yeah.
is on the street that all the college kids are at, but it
Oh,
wasn't supposed to be it.
I'm aware.
Just
Which is why
martinis?
we not just martinis, but like that was our drink menu. So this was
Okay.
supposed to be a space like that the older demographic could come downtown and get a drink
Oh,
and
strange.
like enjoy like a bar environment away from college kids, which I quickly said no. we're
Yeah,
not
no.
doing that.
That's not gonna work.
I don't think they'd
so
want to come down here.
we tried to kind of put a twist on it to where I still remember to this day the very first ever. So when the first time we ever did 2 for 1s on the weekend, we called it college night
Oh,
because like that just wasn't our main like clientele at the
Oh,
time.
That's crazy.
And so that was kind of our way to show them like, hey, this is a space that you guys want to hang out at, without saying like, oh, we don't want the older community, we don't want the business professionals, we don't want the family community. Because I think that's one thing we do a good job at is keeping this place kind of universal and
Yeah.
accepting of all walks of life, all ages, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so we had to get creative, and that's part of the reason why we do events and why we do things like themed pop-ups and just random stuff that can cater to multiple demographics.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original, I'd say year 1/1.5 was very stressful, difficult, and took a lot of effort to kind of like pinpoint who we were gonna be like as a bar.
Yeah, right. What about your stuff like after that? Like kind of like the menu that you made like after that and stuff. Like where did you get the ideas for like because we have like cool stuff on the menu here, like like chicken mac fries, like where did you get all this inspiration for like stuff like that? And like
Yeah, so when it comes to like menu stuff, my biggest goal is to put a put a more unique spin on like traditional bar food. Like obviously you can't go too crazy because Mankato is an area where people are expecting like a certain service, a certain product, and you have to cater to that. But there also is, especially with the university being here, you get kids from all over.
Right.
You want to be able to cater to those needs and be unique and be different, and you want to be able to stand out a little bit. So honestly, I get a lot of inspiration from when I travel to other cities and stuff like that, and I look at things that are on their menu and things that they're doing and figure out how can I make that something to work at the 507, because it's easy to go somewhere and be like, oh, we're going to take that and implement that here. But if it doesn't fit your culture and your mold, then it's just kind of like random. So I'll take inspiration and I'll figure out how can I change things and put it here. But honestly, I do a lot of menu ideas and I bounce them off of my brothers and Lydia. And I just say, okay, what do you guys think about this? How can we make it work? Sometimes they'll shoot it down and I'll do it anyway. Sometimes they'll shoot it down and be like, okay, they're right. And sometimes they'll be like, yep, do this or tweak it or do whatever. And that's kind of like what I enjoy the most is just being creative and trying to figure out what's gonna come next.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like the 507 does have like such a unique menu, even just like when it comes to like sauces and stuff. Because like we got like sriracha ranch, sriracha mayo, like all this
Yeah.
stuff that you can't just find like anywhere. Like you know what I mean? And like the
Yeah.
chicken mac fries, like I have friends that come here like specifically for those because they can't find something like that like anywhere else.
I love
And that's
that.
something that I try to do with the menu
Yeah.
is obviously you have to have your standards. You have to have the things that are like, no matter where you go, you're gonna expect to get this. You got your picky eaters, you got whatever, but like just things that are kind of industry average. But I do try to have a couple things in each area of the menu that would be like, okay, somebody's gonna fall in love with this and they're gonna come here specifically for that.
Yeah.
That's literally why they came here. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people are disappointed that pork left the menu.
Pork.
Pork.
I have a couple friends
Yeah.
that are disappointed about that too.
Especially when you look it up online and you don't go through the Instagram and they find the old menu and they're like, I'll get a
no.
porky bowl and some tater tots. And I'm like, oh,
I will
got
say
bad news.
one thing I need to improve on is updating everything across all platforms. Like obviously we got a lot of shit going on here. Like we have a lot of social medias, we have the website, you have Google, you have whatever. And you just have to be able to kind of manage all that at once. And I need to improve on having it all be like a seamless transition when we change things.
Right.
The hard part is we change things all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you
Yeah.
know that.
Right.
Like in every aspect of the business, whether it's
Like
things we're serving or like
deals.
how we do stuff, we just
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
change it all the time.
Yeah.
So I do need to improve on that. I will say I didn't realize that the pork was like gonna
I have
hit.
other people that are mad at it too.
Like
It's
I personally
people-
like it a lot. Like I really
Yeah.
enjoy it, but I didn't realize people were gonna care as much when we took that off the menu.
Do you think
What
it's in your
I've
bag?
noticed is it's like
skip over that.
specific people that come in because they liked that, but I don't see it like across the board of everyone being like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
The hard part is, especially with the food menu, the drink menu, not as much. because you don't have to buy alcohol and mixers and all that kind of stuff as big in bulk, and the margins are a lot better than food. Um, but the hard thing with food that a lot of people don't realize is like it's hard to we're a small space. You know what I mean? Like our patio is huge and it's great. That's only X amount of time during the year. Inside is very small. And so every decision we make, we have to figure out how is this going to work? One, in the winter when we're not as busy. And on the flip side, how is the kitchen going to be able to put this out efficiently when we are crazy busy, and we're not having long wait times and things like that. And so with food, you have to figure out what how can we stretch this and use it efficiently, because on top of the kitchen cooking it, we have to find space for us to store it and that whole thing. And so like pork is one of those things where it's like, okay, we don't want to just like put pork all over the menu, but obviously like the tacos and the nachos and the sliders are super popular. But we just felt that was a space that we could kind of minimize our menu a little bit.
Okay, so let's drift away a little bit from like the 507 specifically and more into like Mankato. I want to talk about like the progression of what Mankato's been like when you were going to school versus like now. Because what years were you in college here?
So I was in college from 2014 to 2018. I was in
Oh my
Mankato from
God.
2018.
I didn't even graduate high school
I
yet.
said, damn.
No, literally.
That's crazy. Yeah, 2016 to 2018, I was in college in Mankato. My first 2 years were at St. Cloud, like I said, from 2014 to 2016.
I would love to hear what it was like when you were going here, because I have such a different experience. I've only been here post-COVID.
Yeah, y'all got a very different experience.
Yeah.
Well, for starters, like I said, I didn't drink in college. So from 2016 to 2018, my experience as a college student is probably very different than the standard college student, but I was still aware enough to like, I knew what was going down.
Was there like a reason for that? Were you not?
So I never drank. I was that kid in high school, and I was just all growing up where like was very much into sports and alcohol and drugs and all that kind of stuff, partying, whatever, like wasn't gonna get me to where I wanted to go. And so I was just like very much against it. I had friends that did it and I didn't like not be friends with people who did it. I just chose not to do it, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I didn't drink, but when I turned 21, I did go to a couple of the bars like sober. With sober cab my friends, and if we didn't have any like competitions coming up or any stuff like that, like I would go. I'd be there. But yeah, I could count on my hands, on my hand, how many like house parties and like bars I went to during the school year. So like that just
Damn, really?
now I own a bar.
What the hell did you do? Like, not that there's like not other shit to do here, but I feel like that was like my whole Mankato experience.
So my junior senior year, I would go to practice, I would go to work, and I would do school. I was a nerd. Like I was super into my studies and stuff like that. Like if I wasn't getting straight A's, like I'd get pissed, like straight up. Like I'd get so mad. So that was pretty much it, to be honest. And then in the summer, it was just like getting ready for football season. And then after graduating is when I started drinking. And like that summer, I was like drunk the whole summer, honestly. Not during the week. I wasn't quite like the standard college kid, but like Friday, Saturday, I was definitely going out. And the scene was very different from what you guys know now. Like I would say, so before COVID, there's a bar called Red Rocks, which I'm sure you guys are old enough to know. But
yeah, I've heard about it.
Then that's crazy that you've only heard about it.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that.
You've been there, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't even here.
But
for
you've
that.
never been
yeah,
there?
No.
That's wild. Like all the freshly new 21-year-olds, like I know for a fact, that's just like a myth. They don't even know like what that is.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
And so that was a big deal. I would say it was kind of like a standard flow of like downtown, and like everybody, like literally everybody would go to the same bars at the same times throughout the night. And it would always end at Red Rocks. So now obviously that's not open. That's kind of like the biggest change. But even like smaller things, like Thursday nights used to be so busy downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would all start at Mazatlan at the top of the hill. They would
Oh
have
my god.
they would have half priced margaritas,
Oh,
and they'd
shut
be
up.
like 32-ounce margaritas, like these big ass styrofoam cups, and it
Yeah.
was literally a bar in there. Like if you went to Mazatlan on a Thursday
Wow.
at what 8 p.m.
Yeah.
it was a
I
bar.
can't
You're
That
standing
was
in a
I
like-
wasn't
bar.
here for that.
That was like my freshman year. Yeah.
I went to
That's
community
how-
college and
That's
transferred
how
here.
it was my whole
So I missed
freshman year.
out.
It was Mazatlan, and then you would come down.
You know, I used to work there.
You used to work at Voss?
You know what? I did know that. I knew
Yeah, I
that.
used to bartend at Mazatlan on Thursdays
I
Oh
knew
my
that.
god.
or this margarita night. Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was literally a bar. And then you'd come down here. And at one point, this was so before the 507, Mazatlan had already been doing this whole thing. Thursdays were already busy, whatever. But then I specifically remember since the 507 had been open, there was a period where like Thursdays were crazy because you'd start at Mazatlan, you'd have half price margs, then you would come down here and we would do $1.50 rails.
Yeah.
And Mankato went crazy for that. And then one of the other bars used to do $1 tap beers.
Yeah.
So between
Damn.
them, us,
Yeah.
and Mazatlan, Thursdays were like basically an early Friday.
Yeah.
Damn, fucking inflation, man.
Correct. Correct.
What the hell?
Then COVID hit and everything changed. Fun
Yeah.
fact, COVID was actually a month after I came into official ownership of the 507.
Oh damn, that
So
sucks.
was that was stressful.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, so then COVID hit and literally everything changed. When we reopened in June, obviously it was outdoor only, which I was cool with. We had the
Right.
biggest patio in town.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with outdoor only all summer long.
Yeah.
And then we eventually opened it inside. And I think that was kind of like the beginning to changing the culture of Mankato. And whether it was for better or worse, that's up for you to decide. But things were definitely different. And I think the whole Mankato scene slightly took a change because of certain things, like, for example, closing at 10 p.m. Did you work here at that point or no? I don't think you worked here yet.
No, I didn't.
So there was a point where we were
Yeah.
officially like open and they kind of like fizzled out the social distancing and stuff, but you had to close the bar at 10 p.m.
What the fuck?
And
It was
from
so
a restaurant
fun.
standpoint, like we're still cool with that because we're getting
Right.
business, we're cool with having people come in. But in terms of like the weekends, like
Right.
as a college student, why would you even come down here?
No.
Why would you come down here, get fucked
I
up?
don't even go out until 11.
Correct.
Oh,
And then they pushed it from 10 to 11. And then I think they might have done 11 to midnight and then eventually went to 2. But that's
But-
kind of like the resurfacing of house parties and all that kind of stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
The 10 o'clock rule change was when I turned 21.
Yeah.
But we would come here like a decent amount to
We had
507.
we would have some people just because you're
Yeah.
itching to like be in a bar and stuff.
Like we
but
would come and then we'd go back and do like a house party at our house. But we were all 20. They were all a year older than me. So
yeah,
it
it
was-
was
was fun.
interesting. That was kind
When
of like the start
was
of it all.
this? Like start of COVID?
COVID hit in March. We could reopen June 1st, outdoor only. And then at some point in the summer, I want to say, we were allowed to come back inside. And then the numbers spiked really bad. And so
Yeah.
they pushed us to outdoor only in the middle of the winter. That's why
oh,
we had the igloos.
Oh,
yeah.
They made a rule that it was outdoor only in the middle of winter in Minnesota. Eventually, they kind of like wheeled it back inside and slowly took stuff away. But I don't remember the exact date of going back to 2 a.m. and taking away all the restrictions and stuff.
right.
But by that time, people were already doing house parties and doing all sorts of other stuff where Mankato definitely had a culture shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
definitely changed a lot from before COVID to after of the amount of people in general that just come downtown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
like was it a lot more?
Yeah.
Especially
it
summers too.
was way more busy. I don't like the people that stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when COVID hit, Iowa, Wisconsin, other states had less restrictive ordinances, rules, laws, whatever you want to call them. And we were pretty strict here. So a lot of college kids were like, fuck that. I'm just going to go visit my friends at their universities for the
Yeah.
weekend. And I think that was kind of the start of slowly changing the culture of Mankato in terms of how many people stuck around for summer, how busy the summer bars were, and like all
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Iowa still had like the 10 o'clock cut off too. I loved when that was going on. It was so fun. You left here and then you'd go back
Dude.
and you'd still be hanging out with your friends and no one's like
I hate it.
outrageously.
I
hate it when
wasn't-
that's going on.
I wasn't even 21 during this time. Like I came to Mankato in August of 2020. And so then I lived in College Town, and then my whole like Mankato experience was like house parties.
Yeah.
It was like College Town house parties, and the bars weren't even a thing because I was a good Samaritan. I never went to the bars with a fake ID. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Respect. Same.
Yeah. No, I never went to the bars with a fake. So I was like,
Dude, okay.
are we like grilling you low key? No, this isn't personal.
I experienced Red Rocks and I was a freshman, so clearly there was something going on.
How would you describe Red Rocks?
Oh, it was so scary.
Scary.
Not scary, but gross.
Dude,
and-
my like manager at Starbucks like talks about Red Rocks like it's ancient. Like he's old, he's a wife.
It feels
Yeah,
ancient. Honestly, it
does
feels
a little
ancient.
bit.
But it's a great time to be alive.
It was, but you only went there at bar close.
Yeah.
And
they
everyone
There was a rotation. When she says bar close, she means like the end. Like
like
Like,
at
you'd
like
get there like
1:30.
1:15,
Oh,
1:30.
okay.
Yeah. And
Like,
you
it would hit
go,
1 o'clock and you'd be like, okay, like let's start figuring out where our friends are at. Let's round everybody up because pretty soon we're gonna leave. And like
but it was just raunchy. Like they had a whole dance floor and there's just
all
people.
it was. Literally all it was a dance
Dude,
floor, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Does
And there's
anybody
people
have
all
pictures of
around
this
and they're
place?
all just like rubbing up against each other and it was gross. Like it was just where you went, but it was gross.
I want to see a video or something.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sure
it was fun.
I'm
but-
sure you could ask anybody 22, 23 and older, and they got lots of Snapchat stories.
But I'm 22.
23,
23
24,
and
maybe.
older.
23 and
know.
older.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a time to be in Mankato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear about it all the time.
They always have DJs.
Yeah.
Like genuine, like I'm not even exaggerating. I think in my entire time of like drinking in Mankato, I bought maybe two drinks at Red Rocks. Like you would just
Yeah.
go there and just dance and party and do
Really?
whatever.
You wouldn't
You'd be
really buy
so
drinks
fucked up
there.
already. You just go
Yeah.
there for the vibes, basically.
You're just waiting for your Uber.
Damn.
That's another thing. Speaking of the changes of Mankato,
Now you
Like-
can't find Ubers.
you can't find Ubers. Like
They're
dead
so
ass.
much harder to find now.
Like
I
it's
tried to get one last
night.
set. Okay, that
It's
No.
only funny because
it is true.
Out of pocket. For context, Isaiah's brother Elijah drove Maddie home last night.
I'm sorry.
I did have trouble finding one last night.
Elijah was
And-
the Uber.
Shout out to Elijah.
But I didn't even have a card out here, so it wasn't even an option. It shouldn't have been an option, and it wasn't an option.
Anyways,
But I tried to find one like 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't get one for like an hour and a half.
it's crazy.
And I really needed one. I texted in the servers group chat 507 and I said, can anyone come pick me up?
That's wild. Yeah, that used to not be a thing. Like you could just get an Uber like
Yeah.
in any other city. There's lots of people driving them. You could make good money downtown. Like actually one of my friends used to drive like 9 or 10 people home a night, like every single weekend because he'd make good money on it. But
So moving on, kind of talking about future, kind of not, kind of a different type of future. But I think a lot of people, at least here at 507, because we want to know like why we don't collaborate with other bars on Front Street, because I think there would be really good opportunities if we did, but we're just not sure why there's not that collaboration.
And why everything's so like individual here.
okay, for starters, I agree 1000% that it would be dope for obviously for the 507 as a business and for the employees and the customers and stuff like that, but just for the community as a whole, if this street, the city, the industry was more collaborative, I think that is beneficial for all parties. In my opinion, there are a few reasons why it doesn't necessarily take place. I don't want to go into too much detail, but For one, I think that a lot of places are used to doing things the way that they've done them. And obviously, with a new wave of social media, this industry is evolving very fast. Obviously, like we just talked about, like even just from a college experience, things are very different than they used to be, and a lot of adapting and evolving needs to take place. And I think a lot of Mankato, not just this street, but this city and area, um, is just used to doing things a certain way. And they've worked for so long. So there's a mindset of like, why change? Like, this is how we've done it. This is working for us. And there is like a hesitation to adapt or to innovate to new exciting things. Like even things like us doing the office pop up this week. Like that's not something that's normal for this city.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of like, what's the point? That's the vibe I get from it. Like, what if it's not something that is being put on by the city as a whole, or if there's not like a specific reason to do it, then there's like, in my
Yeah.
opinion, this feel of like, why are you doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Um,
even for like the street stuff, like they all participate in that,
Right.
right? But there's not like a collaborative, like if there's a what is that, a bar crawl or anything like that.
yeah. So that actually kind of leads into kind of my next point of what you asked is that even though we don't collaborate in the way that I would like to, I do have some plans coming up this school year that will be outside of the 507 as a business that will be collaborative. And I hope that the places that I reach out to are open to collaborating. I think it'll be beneficial for all the bars, but mainly beneficial to um, the customers and to the college kids and putting on different things as a whole that will only benefit this street, not only during those events, but it'll just bring more people down here, show that
Yeah.
it is something fun and that it is a space that we can do fun, innovative, and collaborative things.
Yeah. I don't want to spill too much about that yet.
Let's
Just
see.
ideas.
What can I
just-
give you? I don't want to spill too much because I do enjoy the like the promotion of it and kind of like the
Right.
revealing of the stuff, but
Yeah.
there are going to be multiple events that will take place downtown. Ideally, multiple bars will partake. They could or could not include bar crawls and other types of parties that will take place down here.
Okay.
I've heard some about it
Yeah.
and it does sound very exciting and I'm excited.
Yeah, there will be majority of them that'll take place on the street and will include multiple bars. There will be some that will take place at the 507 or elsewhere. That'll be like individual events. For example, this one I can't spill because we're gonna start promoting very soon. August 26th, it will be the Saturday before classes start. We're going to have a foam party on the patio. We're gonna rent a huge foam machine
Yeah.
and just foam it out on the patio. It'll
That'll
be
be dope.
co-hosted by a couple different brands, and we'll have some giveaways. We'll have some prizes. The basement bar will obviously be open, and it'll be a good time. But things like that, and then on top of that, like crawls and just random different events that will kind of
Yeah.
be more collaborative.
Like community events.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it should be fun. I really just want to try and enhance and honestly just elevate the scene downtown, especially when it comes to events. Like I feel like Friday, Saturday, it takes care of itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
if you're 21 plus and you go to Mankato, you're gonna come downtown. You're gonna
Right.
drink on the weekends, unless you have like exams or a job or whatever. You're like not going out that weekend for.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, you're gonna come downtown. That takes care of itself. But I think that we can do so much more, and I think that Mankato is a fun and exciting enough city, and there's enough stuff going on outside of just this street that we can elevate and provide more than what we're providing for the university and the kids that go there.
Yeah.
Sounds like exciting big things.
Next school year, I got some big plans. Next school year gonna be dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Big things coming for the 507.
You got it. You heard it here first on the 507 Girls podcast.
So no bars that you want to be like, ah.
So I'm really very careful with the tea that I spill. You guys can obviously spill whatever tea. The tea that I will spill is there are a couple of bars that I feel that could be wrong. I feel don't necessarily like the 507, or maybe they don't agree with the things that we do here, or maybe they don't like that we're innovative and we try to do things differently. But I just feel an energy of our concepts not working together, and they kind of just want to, do their own thing.
Yeah.
There's also the standpoint of not having the same clientele, so that kind of weeds out, half of them.
Yeah.
But then there are a couple bars where we've had our disagreements or occurrences that have taken place that just don't equate to meshing in business, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Whether it's been people who I'm associated with, or the business, or whatever it may be, there's been some occurrences that have kind of, we just let it be known, like, you're gonna do your thing, we're gonna do our thing. And from my perspective, there's like no beef from me to them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, as a business, I will never down talk anybody. I will never tell people not to go anywhere. I will never not be, I don't know, like, accepting of the fact that there's other places down here, and just know that, like, that's part of the bar experience. But yeah, there's some places that I will choose not to spend my money at, and I will choose not to collaborate with on my end because of said occurrences.
Got
Is
it.
that enough tea for y'all?
Yeah, fair.
Got it?
Fair.
Yeah. I think that was a really good note to end on, actually.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that we're running out of time
Yeah,
here.
we can drop it there.
Yeah, a mic drop. Just out. That was a statement. Boom.
I ain't spending my money here.
I ain't gonna say why,
I'm not
but
gonna say who, why, or where, but
I'm not gonna go there and spend my money.
yeah. And I mean, I have friends that do, and like,
Yeah.
like I said, there's no beef. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you can't go there. But I
Right.
will just choose not to go there.
respect.
That's fair.
Respect. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode. Our first guest episode. I think it went very well. Thank you,
Honored.
Isaiah,
I'm honored.
for being a part of this episode. I think we've got another guest episode coming up soon with some other 507 employees.
Oh yeah, we do.
So
I'm
definitely,
excited.
That's
Yeah.
like the official 507 Girls episode.
yeah,
It's
like all the
the
507 girls.
507 Girls. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that'll be a good one. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But
Mhm.
otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 5.
Next Wednesday at 5.
Next
Wednesdays at
Wednesday at
5.
5.
You gotta do a
All
little cheers with us.
right,
Oh.
I'll
You
go.
even got anything left? We're all like mostly
Little bit.
empty.
I poured it on
Mine's
Maddie's
empty.
laptop.
He did.
507 girls plus Isaiah out.
Out.
Thanks for watching, guys.